Geiger, who is our Senior Vice President for operations. He has operational responsibility over the hospice. So, Jim, you want to, I like you from right over in front of it. You don't mind.
Good afternoon. We had a tragic event at Lehigh Valley Hospital on 17th Street this afternoon. At about 1 o'clock, an elderly gentleman visiting his wife in the hospice unit killed his wife and then took his own life shortly thereafter. There were no other staff members that were harmed, no other visitors were harmed, and at this point in time, our hearts go out to the families that are impacted, as well as our colleagues. Thank you very much.
Taking any questions?
Yes.
Quick question, are there any metal detectors here in the hospital?
No, there are not.
Okay, are there plans to install them after this incident?
We've actually been in active consultation with our law enforcement colleagues about ways that they would recommend that we can enhance security at all of our campus facilities. So that dialogue is active and ongoing right now.
Have you ever had something like this happen before at any of your properties?
Not during my 11.5 years here.
Are you able to tell us any more about the patient, how long she'd been a patient here? Has anyone witnessed the shooting, or they just came in and found you?
I don't have that information. I believe that staff had heard a first gunshot, and then as they were heading towards the room, the second gunshot. So there was no one else in the room.
And she's in a room alone?
Correct.
And when a person comes into the hospital, do you just walk in and then go to the front desk? Are there any searches at all? Do you run anything through a conveyor belt, or there's maybe a metal detector through that?
We don't have that at our hospital entrances. There is an opportunity to use a logging technology in the event that a patient is brought in that we have concerns that might have been involved in an incident that we want to potentially check the weapons. But on a routine basis, we do not do a medical detector scan or screening on our patients coming through.
So at this point, what's next for you guys? Now that somebody was able to have, I'm assuming, some kind of gun, a handgun of some sort, to walk into the hospital, what are you guys going to do next to maybe prevent this from happening again?
Well, as I mentioned, we were working very closely with law enforcement. We drill with them constantly. They were here in a very, very short period of time when we put out the 911 call. And as we debrief with them on this incident, to be able to take their recommendations and work with them closely to do everything we can to enhance the security, not only of our main hospital campuses, but we have a number of health centers and physician location practices as well.
And a lot of people are saying this is a mercy kill.
It's a love story. The elderly gentleman could not bear to see his wife suffering, and the family, I believe, had observed that he just could not envision living without her.
But he didn't bring a note or leave a note. You're getting this from what police have told you, family members have told you?
I have not seen the note. I don't know if there's additional information like that.
And worth noting, Mr. Geiger, that this was never an active shooter situation. There were no other people that were threatened in danger or anything like that.
Correct. There was no threat to other staff or visitors.
See, I don't know how you can say that, because he comes into a hospital with a gun and he shoots his wife. He's got a gun. Anything could happen. She wasn't the only patient on that floor. Surely there were other hospital rooms that he had missed and shot through a wall or shot out in the hallway. Surely that means that with a gun in the hospital, other people were in danger. It's just that it didn't happen.
In this incident, it did not happen, correct. And we had law enforcement responding within minutes.
Do we know what kind of weapon was used?
I do not. We have an alerting process called a Code 45, and that alerts our incident command and management staff that we have a serious incident, and so people were responding from all over the network on that particular alerting.
Okay, but what about as far as patients within the hospital are concerned? How were they notified that something was going on?
We assess the situation first, and then we determine whether or not we'll be able to safely protect our patients if we had to evacuate. Obviously, in this instance, we did not.
What kinds of patients on the hospice floor? dementia patients, cancer patients, is it terminal patients?
Terminal patients in the end stages of life.
So you probably do have other patients that heard the shots and were aware that something was
I
going on.
would say yes.
Do we know where the couple's from? It seems like you are aware of who they are.
I do not have that information.
We don't know the names either. That's the.
I don't have that.
Any idea when they will be released? The victims' names?
Please. The police will determine that.
Okay. We'll defer to law enforcement.
But back when you say this is a love story, did he bring any evidence with him that has you believe that, or where are you getting that information from?
Family members. And that's why our heart is out to them. They are grieving at this point, and we want to respect their grief.
So you spoke personally to family members?
And if I'm correct in saying you do not believe that anybody else was in danger?
Were other patients that were in the surrounding rooms, were they have to be evacuated when this happened, or are they still in their rooms now? How is that being taken care of?
They are still in their rooms now.
And tonight, is any extra security in place?
Yes.
And what kind of security will be in place?
Security only unit, as well as frequent rounding throughout the hospital, as well as in our staff.
Is it Allentown Police Department, or is it just?
The combination, we partner with Downtown Police Department,
And
our
with the
17th Street campus.
So no temporary metal detectors or anything like that?
Not at this time.
What's the patient population roughly, I know it varies, in the hospice on any given day?
It is a 10-bed unit. We
10-bed.
normally have